Why are aliens here? What are they doing here? What do they want with us? That's the big, $1 million question here. I don't know the answer to that. And I mean, there might be some people out there that, I would say in the faction within our government that has more information on this issue than anybody else in the whole world. They might know. They might have something on this. I don't. I don't. But there's some reason. There's probably multiple reasons. There's probably about 10 different reasons why they're here. But I don't know those reasons. I can't say for sure why they're here, but they're here. For instance, David Jacobs did some books, a psychiatrist. He hypnotized a lot of alleged alien abductees, and he came to the conclusion basically that there's some sort of hybridization program. The gray aliens are involved in some sort of hybridization program with humans, and I guess to probably obviously integrate themselves into our society, and we don't even know which who's who is who and what is what. After time, they start looking more and more like us, so there could be actual aliens among us. It sounds insane. It sounds totally insane. It sounds like Invasion of the Body Snatchers almost. Sounds like something right out of a 1950s science fiction movie, but I guess it could be. I don't know the answer. I mean, who really knows? But again, there's more than just the Greys here. I believe there's more than just the Greys. There's reported reptilian type creatures. There's Nordics. I mean, and God knows what else is out there. I think there's multiple different things coming here. So, with that said, what all their purposes, they're probably not working all on out of the same playbook here. Maybe there's some here just interested in studying us, looking at us for their own historical purpose. Maybe they find us fascinating. Look at these apes running around. That's what they probably look at. They probably look at these violent apes killing each other and, destroying the planet. Even though they know they're destroying the planet, but they keep doing it anyway. Things are getting hotter and the weather's getting worse, but they don't care. This is unbelievable. What a great documentary that's going to be back in the Zeta Reticuli star system sometime. When they show us all getting burned up from the sun because the ozone layer is completely gone and the world's just completely inhabitable because we destroyed it on ourselves. Maybe that's why they're here. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't want to admit these things, because it's politics, right? Just because politics, because their political leaders tell them things like, oh, there's nothing wrong, just because those political leaders are receiving, big kickbacks and money from Exxon and, whatnot. But yeah, that's what's happening here. They're probably, that could be one of the reasons they're just studying us for that purpose. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're planning. Maybe there's one of these species, or maybe multiple. Maybe they're planning on conquering us. Why not? Maybe they see what's going on here, and they're like, you know what? They're gonna ruin this planet. Why don't we just get rid of them all? We'll save it for ourselves. This would be a nice little home base for us. They can't ruin our home base. This could be like a pit stop for them. On their way from 1 million light years to another million, from one location 1 million light years away to another location 1 million light years in a different direction. Maybe that's what's going on here. Who knows? Who knows why they're here? But they're here. Make no mistake about it. They're here, and that's the premise we need to begin operating from. That they're already here. And we can't just sit back and say, well, the government didn't tell us yet, so I guess we still don't know. No, they're here. In fact, we actually already have proof. I mean, I've said this before, right, in a previous podcast, that, it would be nice. It would be nice to get the absolute physical, undeniable proof so we could get everyone in the whole world on board. It'd be great. It'd be great to go walking in a room with a bunch of debunkers with, with holding an alien by the scruff, by the back of the neck and say, hey, here's your proof. And then throw it toward them and say, there you go. Are you satisfied? And then if that's not enough, I got his flying saucer out in the back of my pickup. That'd be great to do that, but the chances of something like that happen of a dum-dum like, a regular dum-dum human doing something like that, being incapable of doing something like that, that doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen. Because these things are obviously way more advanced than we are, and I don't think that's what I just described is possible. Maybe a crashed vessel of sorts before the military gets it. That's possible, I guess, but boy, you'd have to work fast. Because, they love to cover these things up. Roswell. But so that's one way, I guess. But it would be great to do that. But the proof is there if you want to look at it. I mean, again, there are certain cases. And one case I love to talk about is the 1994 Zimbabwe school. That's there you go. You don't need anything else. You had 60-some kids. They were, little kids. They all saw this flying saucer during a recess outside, broad daylight, land. Alien comes out, your classic gray alien. They all drew pictures of it. You could find it online. You could watch that documentary called The Phenomenon, right, from 2020. They all, they saw this thing come out. It communicated with them telepathically, and warned them of, basically gave them some sort of warning about the way we're heading, the direction the humankind is heading. And then they got back in their spaceship and they left. And then the kids were all interviewed shortly after, and they all told the same story. And years later, now they're adults, of course, and a lot of them were reunited recently, and they're still telling the same story. There's your proof. I mean, what more do you need? They saw it. The thing was communicating with them telepathically. It wasn't just one or two or three or four. It was over 60 people, and they were all kids. The kids aren't capable of coming up with a conspiracy. Hey, why don't we all do this? All 60 of us, and we'll never tell anybody. I'll tell you what. We'll just say an alien spaceship landed, and then this alien came out and then talked to us telepathically. We'll tell everybody this, and we'll never ever break. Well, we'll take a pink one of those. We'll make a pinky truce. We'll never say anything. That's impossible. I mean, I could see some adults getting together, and maybe even that sounds insane. But 60-some kids, It's just impossible. There's no way they could have conspired to come up with a lie like that. They're telling the truth. So there's your proof right there if you want to accept it. But I see a lot of people out there, they're incapable of accepting anything like that. It's too much for their brains. Their brains would melt. So, until that absolute, definitive, indisputable proof is, brought forward, we're going to have to deal with, people that are going to say it's not true. And even then, you probably still have some people saying it's all fake. I don't still believe it. Even if you're sitting in the same room with one of these aliens, they would think it was some sort of special effect, like a Muppet or something. One of, Jim Henson's disciples operating it. They wouldn't believe it. But anyway, the reasons, why are they here? Your guess is as good as mine. But, again, could be hybridization program. Could be plans to conquer. Why not? Could be. Some of them. One of them. Many of them. Who knows? Could be just, hey, we're looking at these morons. Look at them. Look at them destroying themselves. Interesting. They could be, for documentary purposes back in Zeta Reticuli. Who knows? Maybe they're harvesting us. Maybe they were the ones who put us here in the first place, and this is one big giant experiment, and they're just, checking in on us, watching us, waiting for us to realize that they're here. But so how about we operate on that premise, though, that it is real? If we all did that, wow, let's all work together on this. Let's make this the biggest thing. Our biggest concern is, okay, there's beings here that are smart than us. What are we going to do about it? Why don't we try to figure out what's going on here? You know, get our government to tell us what they know already. Okay, this is ridiculous. You know, we know you know. We know that you know. Okay, we know. I know. And there's other people who know. We all know. You're hiding something. There's no question.